Hello everyone, good morning. I am here today to raise an issue. Just a loud thinking, I would say, but something that has actually bothered me for quite some time. Before I go into the issue itself as such, into the topic as such, let me actually say a few words about myself, about my background, and where I come from in terms of my perspective and thinking. Okay, I migrated from India to Canada in the year 2006, almost about 16 years back, and so a Canadian passport holder now, Canadian citizen, and we have also taken a conscious decision to move to United States. So I presently, myself and my family live in United States with the status of permanent resident card, green card. I also happily have retained my touch with India with my overseas citizen of India card, OCA card. Now, the topic in question is that ever since I came here, there is something that I have actually observed. The bias against India, the conscious bias against India in the Western media. I have found it difficult to accept the fact that the bias is actually on account of a misunderstanding of India or whatever that's happening in India from time to time. I think it's a conscious effort to always downplay whatever positives that are there in India, the progress that India has made in different fields. So, if anything, that has always been only a grudging admiration for what India is, what India has been able to accomplish. India is now considered as one of the top nations in terms of strength, military strength, economic strength, and the kind of moral influence that India has among the nations of the world, particularly after the BJP government under Narendra Modi came to power in 2014. And before I go ahead, let me also say I'm not a typical BJP loyalist, or some who have chosen to describe themselves as Modi Bhakt in India. That is within India. Modi devotee, Modi Bhakt, admiring Modi. At all times, all-weather, like an all-weather leader. No, that's not what I am at all. I am definitely a supporter of BJP. I am a supporter of BJP government. It's actually because of the way they have actually conducted themselves in these last 8 years and the way they have actually performed. And that has been evident by the kind of respect that they now command from various countries in the world. They are no pushover now. The BJP government has actually made sure that India is no pushover anymore on anything. That has been made clear even to China. I am actually wanting to talk about the bias in the Western media. The immediate reason today is because of one of the videos that I actually happened to see, that of Fareed Zakaria of CNN. In one of the recent presentations that he has made now, he again talks very disparagingly about the conditions in India, social conditions in India, about the kind of politics that actually exists there. That's completely a misinformation or disinformation. There is a subtle difference between the two, disinformation and misinformation. Disinformation is something you are actually distorting whatever that is there, that is disinformation. Misinformation, you are possibly distorting. In addition to that, you are saying what is actually not true at all. That's actually misinformation. That's exactly what Fareed Zakaria has actually resorted to. I am not very sure if he has actually done it all by himself, all by the dictates of his masters in CNN, if it's a policy decision. But in the recent past, some of the happenings that have taken place recent past, there is one controversial American industrialist, George Soros, who has recently made a statement against India. There has been a report by Hindenburg, again a controversial research organization in America. They have actually said something against the group of Adani, was the most successful businessman in India, who is perceived to be close to Narendra Modi's government. But he was there even in the Congress government, Adani. But the Hindenburg research had come up with certain statements, declarations, which has resulted in Adani losing a substantial amount of their wealth. But Hindenburg itself is a very controversial firm. You can actually Google Hindenburg research to know their background, their antecedents, to understand how controversial they are. Now, and quite a few years back, there is a guy by the name Harun Siddiqui, who is a columnist in Toronto Star, who used to be writing all the time against India and against whatever that's happening. It's all, see, I'm not actually against anyone very objectively criticizing something that needs to be criticized, if it is real. But where there is no reality, where I perceive certain dishonesty on the part of the critic, then I think it's absolutely unfair. Unfair in the general sense, and also unfair against India. So the immediate provocation, again I now go back to Fareed Zakaria and CNN, what he said in CNN. Fareed Zakaria, I have a lot of admiration for Fareed Zakaria for more than one reason. For having been a first generation immigrant from India to the United States, he has come up this far, he has made a mark, he's a name to contend with. He's one of the very highly respected now journalists here in the United States. He has made it all by himself. I have a lot of admiration for him. On most of the international issues, I have also listened very keenly, very carefully to his views, opinions expressed. And most of them I have found to be quite balanced and objective. But when it comes to India, I have also actually listened to someone by name Chris Hayes of MSNBC some time back. I cannot help feeling these are all basically people without any expertise on India. They just read out whatever that is actually dished out to them by their channel or whatever. But is there an agenda against India? I do feel that the campaign by the Westerners, by the Western media is quite orchestrated. I am not sure if the political dispensation in the Western countries, particularly in the United States, has anything to do with this at all. Because they possibly want to cut India down to size. They possibly do not relish the idea of India going from strength to strength. They basically would like to have an India which is prepared to go to the line of West. They do not really want an independent India. Is that the position of the political administrations in these countries, particularly the United States? I am not sure about that. Do they have a hand in such propaganda against India that is being carried out by these media houses? I am not sure. But let's again actually go back to Fareed Zakaria. I am getting distracted a bit because it is so emotional, personal for me as one of Indian origin, and because it's really so unfair. Fareed Zakaria said about the BJP, he was actually projecting as if that there is a great Hindu fundamental resurgence in India against all the other religions. It's a false narrative. Let me actually keep it simple. All that he was saying is he was actually pointing out a couple of low-level functionaries of BJP to say that BJP itself is actually taking India in a fundamentalist, Hindu fundamentalist direction, communal direction. Of course, this is a propaganda that has been going on, but it has not actually made any significant inroads in the minds of the Indian people, because Indian people know truth for what it is. He was actually talking about the riots in Gujarat. Okay, the riots in Gujarat is a separate big topic by itself, but let me actually talk a little bit about the Gujarat riots. I am not one who believes that Modi is absolutely Modi was the chief minister in Gujarat during the time of riots, and he can be, I don't really believe that he can be absolutely absolved of his responsibilities. After all, he was the chief minister, so he was a responsibility. I'm not going to the technical aspects of a lot of things of Gujarat riots. The Supreme Court has absolved Modi. The Supreme Court has said there is nothing to prove that Modi was actually involved, though he was the chief minister. But I go by the moral responsibility that Modi did have, because he was the chief minister. He should have stopped it, he did. So to that extent, I do feel Modi is to be faulted. So that's what it is. But when Fareed Zakaria says the whole BJP is going against Gandhi himself, he was also saying that that's a basic premise of Fareed Zakaria, which is there is a very deliberate effort in India, particularly by the BJP, to downplay the role played by Mahatma Gandhi during the independence. Mahatma Gandhi was a great man, but was Mahatma Gandhi completely infallible? I don't really think so. The credit of Mahatma Gandhi is that Gandhi himself would have been the first to admit that he was not completely infallible. Gandhi could make mistakes too. After all, he was a man. He was not divine. He had divine values, divine virtues. That's a different thing. But he was not God. So, but Gandhi was not infallible. But to say that the BJP is going all out to downplay the role played by, undermine the role, contributions of Mahatma Gandhi is simply ridiculous. And when Fareed Zakaria says this, Fareed Zakaria is a man very much in contact with India. He keeps going to India every now and then, Indian expatriate. So he should be knowing it better. I can understand somebody from the Western world who says these things, because he may have access only to what is being told. He may not be really very clear, he or she. But Fareed Zakaria is not that. I do expect Fareed Zakaria to have the right perspective. I do expect Fareed Zakaria to know things better. So, when Fareed Zakaria says that the whole BJP is going all out to undermine Gandhi, first of all, let me say, never is going to be possible, nor that would be the line of thinking of BJP or anybody in the BJP. To pick one lower level functionary at this district level, not even at state level, and to cite such pronouncements to say that the BJP is going all out to undermine Gandhi is just ridiculous. And I also actually happened to see a video in which there is an Indian writer by name Arundhati Roy, I think, who says the BJP government wants to disenfranchise all those non-Hindus. And I really absolutely fail to understand the minds of these people, the thinking of these people. What do they really hope to achieve? Their only credibility is going to take a powerful beating. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and everyone can actually see, anyone in the right frame of mind can see it's ridiculous. So, the thing that I actually want to say, there definitely seems to be an orchestrated campaign in the Western media, Western world against India for whatever reason. And now the BBC documentary comes out. BBC documentary on the Gujarat riots, blaming Modi, blaming BJP. See, no less than the Supreme Court of India has constituted as a special investigative tribunal, and they completely discharged Modi. They said there is actually no evidence to prove that Modi was actively involved in the riots. Though I say Modi still holds a moral responsibility for the riots. That's something even the former Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, said in those days. He was talking about Raj Dharma that needs to be followed and all that. Anyway, the Gujarat riots has become part of history, and I can actually cite any number of riots before and after the anti-Sikh riots in Delhi, in which Congress had a very major role. More than 5,000 Sikhs were killed. Nobody talks about Congress role in active role in Delhi anti-Sikh riot, or the role that has been played by the Congress, active hand of Congress that was seen in many major riots in India communal rights in India ever since independence till the till Indira Gandhi was in power. Nobody actually talks about all that. Okay, when they talk about communal right, they only talk about the communal right in Gujarat. Fareed Zakaria never talks about that. So the bottom line now is to say that the BJP is going all out to undermine the role played by Mahatma Gandhi in the freedom movement. It only shows the intellectual bankruptcy of Fareed Zakaria. I'm sorry to say. I never thought I may have to actually say these words, but that's what it really amounts to. Still, even if I don't question the integrity of Fareed Zakaria, it at least shows the intellectual bankruptcy of Fareed Zakaria and all those of his ilk. I only hope all of these people do see sense and say truth as it is for what it is. Thank you.